So I'm gonna try to figure out how to raise the thumb up on this machine. It's got a mechanical thumb on it, and it's a contraption that I've never seen before. It looks like it slides, so I'm assuming that's the up position right there. So best I can figure out is loosen this bolt, pin comes out, and then it should slide up. If there, I don't know. Clearly there's only two positions. Seems kind of stupid, but I guess that's what it is. So we're gonna do a little learning today. As you can tell, that cylinder's still puking. I got the seal kit ordered, so that'll get repacked here soon. I got a guy that's gonna do that, but I actually ordered a seal kit for every single thing, so we might actually just repack every cylinder so I don't have to worry about this again. Go ahead and do it right the first time and not have to deal with cylinders again. So I'm gonna set up the camera and take this out, pull this pin, and I assume that this just slides up and locks back in that pinhole right there, but I have no idea, so we're about to find out. Alright, let's take this bolt out. Oh, shoot, that's already little. That didn't take much. That one's tight though. Everything's covered in oil. I got soaked yesterday, so I don't feel like getting covered in oil again today. That just went on there. There we go. So I assume you just take this off and take the bolt out and put everything back together so I don't lose it. And I assume this pin just like so. Yeah, that's not gonna wobble. I wonder. Huh. Well, we'll find out here shortly. So now that that pin's out, I'm just gonna start the machine up and curl the bucket back and push that thumb up, and I guess pretty much see what happens. So now okay, I'm glad there's a second, there's a second pinhole, so I'm glad there's that one, because the thumb seemed a little high to me, so I'm glad I can let it down. And I just assume that this pin drops back into, what are all these for? Does anybody that have this thumb know what these doodads are for? It doesn't move, it's welded. Huh, no idea. So it appears that I just go and put that back in there, and that keeps it from sliding down. Well, that's actually a pretty nifty little design. Still don't know what this, well, I guess that kind of, oh, I see what it does. That kind of locks, I guess locks that plate in. Yeah, because you kind of gotta, I don't know what that top one does though. It doesn't look like it does a whole lot of anything. Interesting. I guess I could let it down real quick and kind of see how far the thumb will fold down. Might as well while we're playing. Pull that out real quick. Let's see how much motion this thumb does have in it. So I had to pull that pin right there. That does lock it from, if that, let's see, it's got a little lock right there. If that bolt or pin does come out, that'll stop it. So it looks like it'll slide down a little bit more and I can get that locked in. Probably just needs to be pulled down a little bit or beat down, because that'll be probably the position that I run it in when I do have the thumb. So alright, I'm gonna fold it back up and put the pin back in. The first job I need the machine for doesn't require the thumb, so I'm gonna fold it up and get it out of the way. So that's really straightforward. Pretty much just get that released. I'm gonna have to knock it with the pin now, it's pretty tight. That locks that so it can't fall down. And then just put the pin in there, like so. Leaky leak. Definitely gotta get that fixed. Alright, I'm gonna put the bolt back in that and should be good to go. So now I'm going to try to straighten this door handle. From what the owner said, the older fellow that was running it needed to have it stuck straight out so he could get into it. But I don't like it sticking out. It's supposed to be straight. So I'm going to, hopefully it will not break. I'm going to be very gentle with it, but I'm going to take the Yanmar here in the bucket and see if I can just kind of gently bend it back around. What's the worst that can happen? Let's see what happens. I'm going to leave it like that. It's a lot better. It's starting to break up top, but I can get that re-welded. At least it's not stuck straight out anymore. Alright, a lot better than it was. Buy an excavator, it'll be fun, they said. We're repacking every cylinder. I ordered the seal kits and they are taking all the cylinders off. Gonna take them to get them repacked, brought back on Monday. Pretty nice service rig. So as you can imagine, I didn't feel like doing all that by myself. It really needed that one replaced, and the bucket was starting to weep too, and it seemed like it needed to be repacked. So those were definitely need to be done. It looked like one of the booms could start weeping, so I went ahead and ordered a seal kit for everything. And while they're here working, it's just as simple to go ahead and do them all. So they got those pulled off. They brought his other service truck and they got it knocked out real quick. He was able to pull the rods out of the stick and the bucket cylinder, but the two boom cylinders, the end of the barrel right here. Well, I can probably show you the bucket and make a little more sense, because the bolts are in it. But he was trying to take those bolts that hold the end cap on, and they were starting to try to ring out, so he just stopped and pulled the whole two cylinders off and go get those repacked. So probably a good time for me to get up here and clean out all that crud and junk while it's easy to get to. And he got the air conditioner fixed on it. It needs to be pulled a vacuum on it, some more Freon put in it so it cools a little bit. I'm pondering this weekend I might at least tint the two back windows, the two side windows and back windows. I think I got a roll of like 50% left. At least knock a little bit of the heat down a little bit. We'll see how far along I get. I don't know. Something to ponder. I don't think I got enough to do the whole thing. Like, I need some more stuff to do. I need to get in there and clean that turntable out. So much to do, so much to do. We'll see. We'll see. So now, since all the cylinders are off the machine, I really can't do anything other than change the oil and the fuel filter in it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go ahead and pop the oil filter off, pull the belly pan off, and go ahead and drain the oil out of it. I wish I had a manual for it. But I'll kind of guesstimate how much oil comes out. It should be between like 4 and 5 gallons is usually what all these machines hold. So I'll drain that out and go ahead and change the filter and put some new oil in it. So let's get started. Well, they were smart on that one. Look at that. They put a notch in there. That way it won't fall down on my head. I still got to loosen it up though. I got carried away. I got a little dirt in here. I'll have to clean that out. There's the oil pan. So let me get the socket for that. We'll drain a little oil out. Alright, let's see how big of a mess I can make changing the oil now. Or draining it. My oil pan ain't keeping up. Fair amount of oil in there. Don't see anything nasty on the drain plug, so that's a good sign. I think this one's full now. Let's say every bit of 5 gallons, maybe a little bit more. Alright, well, I'll let that sit there and drain, and I'll go ahead and pull the oil filter off and get it changed out. It's a little tight. Feel like I need to put my pan down here. So always fill up your new filters, because they hold a lot of oil. Alright, that was a half a gallon of oil I just put in there. Good old, big old oil filter on this thing. Cap back on that before I spill it. And then I just like to snug it up just a little bit. Like so. Alright, I'll write the date and hours on that, and I'll know. Alright, let's put our drain plug back in. And then we get to go fill it up with oil. This is one thing I won't use the impact for. You don't have that thing wrung off. So I've done enough oil changes to be able to guesstimate how much oil will come out. And it was every bit of 4 gallons. So I'm going to dump what's left, wherever it is. The 4 gallons I have, I'm going to go ahead and dump those in here and then check it. I think it's going to be around 5 gallons of oil. It's about 100 degrees out here today, so the oil is going to run in there really quickly. It's hot. I can't move the machine either because there's no cylinders on it, so I got to do everything out here in the sun, which there really wasn't no place to take the machine to. So I'll do this and let it set for a second and check the oil in it. start it up. If it's in the safe zone, let it run, then let it sit and top it off, get it to the correct level. Don't worry about my dirty oil jugs. We have a barrel we pump oil out of, so the jugs get reused. It's nice clean oil. They just get dirty and dusty from sitting and getting used. But as you can tell, it definitely needed a good service. The oil was a little dirty. At least these machines give you a big fill cap. Makes it easy to put oil in it like this. Alright, let me check it and see what I got. Not touching the stick yet. I need to go get another gallon. Another gallon of oil. I'm going to put about half of this in there and check it. It ought to be on the dipstick by then. Don't want to overfill it. Oh yeah, it's at the low mark now. Yep, it's at the low mark now. I'm going to put just a touch more in there and go start it up. Start it up, let it fill everything up. Let it drain back down. We'll check it in a minute. Well, she's just purring away now. It ended up taking 5 whole gallons of oil to get it back to the right level. I went ahead and changed the fuel filter. There's a storm coming, so I didn't film that. I went ahead and jumped on it real quick. Got it primed back up and it started right back up. So I'm going to put everything back together. While I was down there working, I did notice an oil leak. It looked like it was coming from the oil lines right there to go to the filter. So I got those tightened up, and I'm going to let it run for a minute, crawl back under there, and make sure that I wiped it off real good, and make sure it's still nice and dry. It's coming together. I did get all that power wash where I spilled all the oil and everything, changing that. But I really didn't want to spend a whole lot of time until the machine's done. I'll take it up to the house. I'll probably leave the panel off that I just took for the oil. That way I can spray up in there and clean that out real good. A lot to do, a lot to do.